Bam. Hey, thank God it's Monday. Damon, how are you, brother? What's happening, dude?
We're just enjoying the springtime weather here in Seattle, man.
Man, how Mother's Day weekend? How was
Good
Lene?
stuff. Good stuff.
Kids spoil. All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
phenomenal weekend here. Just, weather is finally beautiful, 70s, 80s all week. And man,
Nice.
I am absolutely thrilled, honored. What a privilege to introduce our guest today. We have the one, the only, Damon. Are you sitting down for this, Damon?
I
I
am.
am.
We have Nate Wheeler in the house. Nate, how are you, dude?
Good. How are you?
Hey, man, we are just better than you could possibly imagine. So we're going to take a deep dive. So first, Nate, U.S. Marine, my friend. So thank you for your service to our country as a veteran, man. We applaud you. We salute you. So thank you for serving our country proudly in the Marines. And
Nice.
next, you are a manufacturing marketing guru. So, man, you speak our language, you sing our music. So, we're going to have a fun discussion here, taking a deep dive. But let's go back in time. So, you decided to go off into the Marines. And then I want to kind of let's learn a little bit about Nate. And then we're going to slide into how on earth did this Marine become a manufacturing guru for manufacturers?
Sometimes I am not even sure how it happened myself. It's interesting how the path of life just kind of takes you around and you just follow it.
Yep.
Yeah, so I had a really, really kind of weird path to it. So I started off going to school for engineering. I spent about 2.5 years at Penn State for mechanical engineering. And, for whatever reason, it was not where I was at that point in my life. And I had always wanted to join the Marine Corps, and I was like, well, it's now or never.
Yeah.
It was 2004. And so I signed up, went off, much to the chagrin of everyone I know. But so I went off and spent 4 years in the Marine Corps Infantry, had some really good experiences there, had a lot of interesting training, a lot of interesting deployment experiences. And so that was a great experience that I'm glad I did. And I'm glad it's something that I think it's a great part of any young man's life if he chooses to incorporate that. It can be a really good growing experience. At any rate, I got out of the Marine Corps, finished up my undergrad in Pennsylvania, moved out to San Diego, got my master's degree in international business. Still not quite sure what I was going to do at that point, but I met a friend who had a website that sold skateboarding lessons, and we used SEO and AdWords to get people all around the country that are looking for skateboarding lessons for their kids. And so one thing I always had people ask me was, how do I get a skateboard for my kids before the lessons? So I decided I want to start a website called skateboardforkids.com, which I did, and I still own it. It's kind of a background. I still ship some skateboards out of my basement, but it's not real, something I put a lot of effort into.
Yep.
So that was kind of my first real experience in business and in a successful business that I made money off of and made connections and used SEO and a lot of different techniques to get those leads. So in the process of all that, I met some guys that, had some other experience I didn't have. We came together, formed We Create. One of our first customers was a manufacturer, and I just really took an interest in it. I really love the idea of things being built. I love the economic benefit that it has and how much of a core it is to, what our country offers and what our country is. And, I just found out that I was really good at getting business for manufacturers and building websites for them. So that just kind of became our primary area of business. And we've really loved what we've done since then.
Awesome. So, all right, let's take a deeper dive. John Buglino drops a note saying hello. So anybody out there, welcome to Manufacturing Monday Motivation. Guys, we're here with Nate Wheeler. If you just joined us, Nate is a veteran, as he just mentioned, served proudly in the Marine Corps, and now he is a manufacturing marketing guru for manufacturers at We Create Web Designs. Man, that was a lot to say. There are a lot of W's there, Damon. So, all right, so Nate, let's, you and I have known each other for a number of years, and I love the work that you're doing. You do a lot of high-end, high-level web design projects, and I want to take it one step further. You're talking about, man, I love manufacturing, what our country offers, so on and so forth. And with your skill set, with your, e-commerce and SEO, you could have gone into any industry. Just share a little bit about like why you love working with your manufacturers, and just let's start digging into some of those success stories that you have and some of these processes that you've been working on.
So like I said before, one of the reasons I really love working with the manufacturers because I feel like they are the foundation of the success of our country in general.
Mhm.
And I feel like anything that I can personally do to facilitate their success is going to reflect on, my region, reflect on my lifestyle, reflect on, quality of life for everyone around us. And it's something that needs more focus. I always find it interesting that we have a Department of Agriculture, but we don't have a Department of Manufacturing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why is that?
That's a powerful statement right there. Right.
Yeah.
It is. And in the percentage that not to say anything, I love farmers, but not to say anything against that industry, but it represents, a tiny percentage of the GDP of our country compared to manufacturing, which represents a massive percentage of the GDP. So yeah, it certainly requires more focus. And there are some programs out there and things like that. But from the ground level, the things that we as marketers can do to actually increase that GDP, increase the success of the manufacturers is so much more powerful than what is really being done from a high level.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Department of Manufacturing. I had to write that down.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Damon, we need to contact a local Congress.
Oh yeah,
right?
I've got going all over that because you're right. Why the heck not?
Right.
Why the heck not?
That's a great
God,
point.
that's awesome.
So Nate, and what's interesting, again, like when you think e-commerce, web design, a lot of manufacturers a little bit, slower to the game tech wise, they live for years on trade shows, maybe word of mouth. And so, again, you embrace this, this industry, if you will, that was, a little bit on the tech, not tech savvy side of things, right? If you agree with that.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about some of the manufacturers, different industries. As you got into this, and when you started up your business, a lot of times as a startup, man, you're trying to take any bit of business that you can to survive, right?
Oh, for sure.
You're startup guru. You've been a part of numerous different startups. So, how were you able to laser focus on manufacturers? Did you get a lot of resistance in the beginning, or, walk us through like how you really kind of catapulted yourself this direction?
So the very first step in this was before I even started this company, I met a local business owner, owned an advertising agency. They were moving more into digital, and they had a client out in Union City that did fiberglass molding.
Yep.
And he had been struggling with content writing. And I've always considered myself a good writer. And I was like, hey, I can write the content for it. Never done it before. And so he's like, well, if you want to give it a shot. And I'm like, I'm not just going to give it a shot, man. I'm going to knock it out of the park. And so having no experience in this, I said, okay, what do I need to do to write really good content for this person? So I said, I got to schedule a meeting with them. I went out to their factory. Well, first I did some preliminary research on fiberglass molding, came up with a lot of good information, went out there, guys gave me a tour. And I said, so is that this kind of fiberglass? He's like, how'd you know that? I'm like, well, I did my research. So I went and wrote the content. They didn't have any edits. It was perfect. And from that point on, I just really felt a passion for that industry. I just really wanted to be involved in promoting manufacturers. And so then, like I said, one of my first customers happened to be a manufacturer. They made industrial furnaces, and we built that website. And I just realized that, number one, manufacturers tend to have a very low level of digital aptitude, and even beyond that, it reflects in their web presence and in their opportunities that come from the web.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a long ways to go in a lot of cases, number one. Number two, they have a lot of economic benefit from the marketing that we do. When we get a lead for a manufacturer, it can be worth, $20,000. It can be worth $200,000 or $1 million. Yeah. So when we do marketing, the amount of investment that they make into that is a pittance compared to what we can actually get for them.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of return on investment, which is always a good scenario to have when you're providing a service. And then the last thing too is that over the years, through a lot of struggles, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, I'll tell you what, there was times where I wanted to completely give up. I was like, SEO is moving too fast. I can't figure out what they're doing with these algorithms. And I just quit trying to figure out what Google was doing. And I just started to ask myself, what would Google do? what would you do if you were trying to serve really good search results? Well, it all comes down to good content and good backlinks. If you have those two pieces of the puzzle together, and there's obviously nuances to each of those and how they're constructed, but if you have those two elements, you're going to have good ranking and you'll get a lot of leads.
Right. That's awesome. Hey, we have a couple shout outs here. So our dear friend Nicole Donnelly's in the house today.
All right.
She says, hi, peeps. And John drops this comment. You did research? What a concept. Just to take that time and actually do the work, he says. So John, thank you, dude. Yeah. And, so this is awesome. Now you have a great process, if we want to slide into this, on how you help particularly machine shops, custom manufacturers on this marketing side, Nate. So do you want to take a little dive there and just kind of enlighten everybody? What do you do to help, help your clients show their superpowers and expose their strengths to the market with this SEO strategy?
Sure. Yeah. And that's a good question. And the program that you just mentioned, it exists in one of the toughest to differentiate markets, and that's in the machining market. Yeah. Because even if you ask most machine shops what they're really good at, well, what are your core competency? And they're like, we're machinists. Like, everybody knows what it is. We're no different than anybody else. A lot of them say that. And the thing that we're really good at is drawing out what they're actually really good at, understanding it from the perspective of their consumer. Okay, so you do a lot of aerospace work. Well, if I'm the guy looking for a machine shop that can do aerospace work, what am I looking for? Well, I'm probably going to be looking for somebody with an ISO 9001 certification, probably AS 9100.
Right.
I'm going to be looking for some case studies on some parts that you've done related to that. Right. So we can always pull out those areas of specialty and display them in a way that makes sense to your target market, written with content that your target market would be looking for. And so I think really being able to, and if we can do that for machine shops, we can do it for anybody.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
So that's a big thing. And so displaying your credibility through a website design, something that's clean, something that operates well and has well-written content is step one. Step two, how are we going to actually get the traffic to the website? Because when we build a website, it's got a good foundation. We built that solid foundation that we can grow off of. Then there's the rest of the SEO process. And that usually occurs after the website's built. So with machine shops, I got a lot of, well, let me digress. So we have a lot of customers that are, larger, couple $1 million up to, whatever, $50, $100 million. Mm-hmm. They typically will have a really custom website design. We go through a design phase, discovery phase, design phase, development phase, content ready phase. All this stuff goes into this website design, typically a little bit higher price point than, a really small job shop mm-hmm. can afford. Not that it's a ton of money, but it's something that if you're a one or two guy shop, it's like, I just don't have the cash flow. Right. So I had a lot of these small shops contact me and I was just like, I don't know what I can do for you. You know what? I'd love to help you out. So what I did, I developed a template more or less that really fits machine shops. It has really clear display of offerings that we can switch them out depending on what your offerings are. We can switch out the pictures, the content, your logo, your colors. So we can build this website really, really quickly, and it doesn't cost us a lot of money or development resources to do it. And then I developed some other relationships in the industry where I could get some backlinks very easily. I have a partnership with a couple websites, and I say, hey, I'm going to pay you so much a month. When I get a new customer, I just want to plug them in. So I have those built out. So basically, I created this small machine shop marketing program that very, very cost effectively, I can just turn them on, and it's awesome. I am getting these guys ranked in their local markets. It's not an extremely broad geographic thing, but if you're in Pennsylvania and you want to rank for contract manufacturer in, Pittsburgh or whatever it might be, that I can get you ranked for that stuff pretty quickly and easily. And you're going to start getting leads. We're not talking massive leads. We're not talking a ton of them, but it's enough to provide you some stability and consistency in your business.
Right. I absolutely love that. Just what you're doing is you're at least just getting them in the game. Let them get started. And I got to pull up. John says, what would Google do? Right. So
exactly. Yes. If you guys want to see an example, I'd be happy to share my screen. I don't know if that's
absolutely, man. That would be perfect. So just a couple comments here. So our friend Nicole, understanding perspective of the customer, she does a great job of really focusing on the consumer And we've got Chris Young with us today, Damon. And now
Yep,
you were
nice.
going to have a comment. What were you going to chime in?
Well, I was just saying, once you get people set like that, right? A small machine shop is set up. They're starting to do that. If they start producing a little bit of content, a little bit, couple of months, something just to get some freshness on their website, it's going to really go a long ways.
Exactly.
It's going to really go a long ways.
And I've got the perfect example to kind of expound on that. That's a great point.
Yeah. Pull it up, Nate.
Yeah.
All right. Sharing my screen now.
Yep. Hit share, and then we'll pop it up. And then, so what it will do probably on your computer is you'll just see this. Yep. And then I'll add it right there. Then just go
there
right.
We go.
Yep. Go right to the screen that you want to show.
Okay. And I already had Tri-State pulled up here, but I'm going to pull this one up.
Yep. So
you can see my screen.
Yep. Perfect.
So this is the small machine shop marketing template. And it's the cool thing is in fact, despite the fact that it's very cost effective, it's actually probably nicer than 80% of the manufacturing websites on the web.
Oh yeah.
But it has all the elements that we expect to see from a manufacturer's website. You have a clear statement about who you are and what you specialize in. You have a clear calls to action. You have clear display of what your offerings are. And then some good content on the homepage that really lends itself to that, SEO side of things.
Yep.
So that's really the core of what you need on a website. So to expound on Damon's statement, these are some blog articles that we've written for them. Mm-hmm. And in this particular one, we incorporated the keyword set AS9100 certified machine shop. Now, what is awesome is based on even the low-level SEO that we've done for them in the backlink building, this article is the #1 search result nationwide if you Google AS9100 certified machine shop. So clearly we picked a keyword set that doesn't have a ton of competition and that really gets them business. They got leads within the first couple of months. And so this is a really good example of how you can add content to your website that will get you business.
So Nate, let's pause on this for 1 second, because I think this is really important what you've done here. So, John drops us no wee on that site. So Nate, what we love to talk, we call it the wee syndrome. And so when you land on a manufacturer's website, and what is it? We deliver on time. We are awesome. We have these certifications. We are
high quality.
It just, they just talk all about themselves instead of the customer. So John, thank you. Very observant, John. So you did a great job of helping that customer tell the story. But I love what you did is you had ITAR. You had 9001.
Oh yeah.
I think was it 17025 or whatever that standard is. What you've done with that client, instead of Damon, we always talk about like, hey, I'm a manufacturer. I bend metal. I cut steel. And so therefore, we'll do it for anybody. But Nate, what you've just described is like when you talk to that your customer, when you talk to them, they're like, well, no, maybe I'm in automotive. Maybe I'm in aerospace. I'm more specific. So you've niched them down. And so now they can come up on that particular keyword, or they're staying within their industry. So I love what you've done. You've really reeled them in to get them understanding how does search work.
Exactly. And that's a great point, because a lot of companies would write a page that says, I'm a automotive machine shop. Well, no, that's not a search term. Nobody's going to Google that, right? Yeah. You got to think about what is that automotive OEM looking for when they're looking for a machine shop.
Mm-hmm. Right. No, I absolutely love that. So, all right. So let's continue going through that process. So you have the template. So you can machine shops out there, you can get them online, create that presence for them extremely inexpensively, quick, fast, and it's a nice online presence. So it's not cookie cutter, but there is a format that is a proven concept.
Yep.
Then you're going to dig in. So then you offer some content services. You're going to help them write out some content, focus on those keywords, that type of thing. Is that correct?
Yep. So we have, and I do have a couple different tiers available that are going to determine how much content we can write after the website's built. But typically within that initial, layout, putting that website together, we're going to write about 4 pages of content for you.
Right.
And that happens through, we have content writers that write for, very technical and manufacturing subjects every day. We set up an interview, ask them a bunch of detailed questions. We'll record the call. Really allows us to go back and write that piece very efficiently and get it in your words. And then we put it on the website. So that's typically how the content writing flows.
Perfect. Okay. Awesome.
Well,
Go ahead.
and you know what? You know what I like about this? What you've done with this, Nate, is you've laid out a process to do this. Like manufacturers are used to process, right? You've taken this. Yes, there's creativity in what you're doing, but there's a process that manufacturers can see, follow, and understand, because you've got the template. You're making it efficient because you're doing it this way, and you're making it effective. That's really cool.
Thank you. Yep.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that needs to be done, because we know that these digital projects can really get out of control pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have a process.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, we've got Michael Gordon here today. Michael, thanks for joining us again. John, Chris, Nicole, anybody else out there we are with Nate Wheeler from We Create Web Designs and website guru, search engine optimization guru for manufacturers. Now, you have super exciting news here to share, Nate. You also have a marketplace. I think we caught a quick blip of it. I don't know if you wanted to share again, but I would love to learn more about this marketplace that you're offering for your well, you know what, before we do that, you shared an awesome story about kind of how this came about. Let's go there first. We'll keep everybody on the cliffhanger, on the edge of their seat. But why did you what inspired you to create a marketplace?
So, as a web development company, a lot of times we'll have, kind of gaps in projects and things like that. So I always try to keep, my developers working on something that's going to, benefit us and benefit our customers. And I had this vision for a regional marketplace, something that would benefit the manufacturers that were on it and really facilitate regional collaboration. And one of the opportunities that I came across recently that's a little bit removed from this project, but it became very connected, is we generate a lot of leads for our customers. One of my customers generates 300-400 leads a year. They're very selective. They're a large company and they only work with a very specific type of lead. Yep. And so I asked him, well, what happens to the other 250-300 leads that I get you in a year? And he said, well, sometimes we'll try to link them up with somebody, but usually we just tell them we can't help them. And I'm like, dude, you got to send those to me. I can find somebody to do the work. We can keep that business in the region. We're already doing the work. Right. Why not keep the business here?
Right.
And so, there's two ways that it can work. It can be, a for-profit scenario, which, a lot of manufacturers could benefit from that concept, even though a lot of them also are very, very protective and kind of closed off to the idea of outsourcing work, even if it's somebody regional. But I really think we need to open our mindset. I think we really need to think harder about this, because especially with the employment situation in this country right now, every single manufacturer is telling the same story. We can't find enough people to do the work. Right. Well, if you've got on one hand a manufacturer that's, bursting at the seams and getting a ton of leads they can't service, you got other manufacturers that, they have a couple guys, they're not busy, they need work. Well, why not work together? Why not leverage those resources? You might not make the same margin on the job, but at least you're maintaining control of the lead. So that's one function that we're really having a lot of success with in Tri-State Manufacturers Marketplace, is having these personal interactions with customers that we know are getting a lot of business. And we say, hey, do you have anything coming in that you can't do? And just on Friday, I had a machine shop that I work with send me a lead. They said, either we don't have the capacity or the capability to do this job. Can you find somebody? And I right away knew exactly who to contact. I contacted him. He said, yeah, great. I'll quote that. He just sent me a quote. I need to forward it over to the person that was looking. So I think that something like this has enormous economic power. I mean, if we can really get a huge percentage of the manufacturers in the region bought into this idea, it could be massive. Think about it. We've got 10,000 manufacturers in the state of Pennsylvania. If we could get 5,000 of those sharing 5 leads per year, even at an average of, $30,000 a lead, which is very small for a manufacturing job, this could be almost $1 billion.
Right.
I mean, it's huge.
Right.
And that's small scale.
Right. I absolutely love this, Nate. So first off, kudos to you for the innovation to come up with this. The being the go-giver, the connector that you are to even put this into place. And there's a combination of things that I'd like to touch on real quick. Reshoring. what you're doing
Yeah.
is helping reshoring. We've caught how challenging it is right now. I know so you're going to pull it up. So while you're pulling that up, I'm just going to chime in real quick on how important this strategy is. So much disruption through COVID with the vulnerability of products, everything being offshore, so on and so forth. What you're doing is not just regionally, you're giving other companies an opportunity to say like, hey, what's going on here? What can be made? And let's take a little demo here. What's going on?
Sure. So even beyond the kind of the linking up and the collaboration between regional manufacturers that we're really trying to promote, the really, really exciting thing about this site is that we can use our marketing knowledge and our ability to do SEO to generate leads that are coming from around the country. I had a lead come in from Boeing that was looking for very, very complex part that required some plastic fabrication, some machining, and some metal fabrication. And I'm getting leads like this through this website, people outside the region that are doing Google searches for manufacturing services and reaching out to me. And then I have the ability to give that business to somebody that's on the website.
Right.
So this has kind of a multifaceted approach to really benefiting the people that are on it. So this is just a homepage. There's a couple different functions here. You can list your business. You can search for manufacturers. We created some really cool filtering ability. So you can search, based on, specific needs. And then you can drill down into companies that have specific certifications, kind of additional abilities. We have a careers section that we're still kind of building out. And then I have a marketplace section that, I really wanted this to be kind of an all-in-one solution for manufacturers to work together. So it's a place where you can post materials. If you've got, if you're a fabricator and you've got a giant steel yard stuff rusting into the ground, put it on the marketplace. There's people out there that need stock steel. So there's things like that. If you upgraded your machinery, you can post your machinery on here. So there's a lot of cool things you can do with it. This is the company search. We laid out, so you can search by keywords, you can search by industry. And then basically, these are companies that have signed up. Like I said, you can filter, you can search by specific types. So this is, like the metalworking category. You can see all the companies that are in metalworking. You can drill down and find exactly who you want to work with. And down here, you can see some SEO content. This is what we wrote so we could really get this page ranked for different keywords. Cool thing, we've written a lot of news articles too that are focused on keywords like, top injection molding manufacturers and top CNC machine shops and such. And it's really cool. A lot of these keywords, you Google top injection molders in New York, our site is on the first page, on and on and on. So this is really, really cool. We've been having a ton of success with the organic SEO, and I'll just show you real quick what we're getting here. I'll go 16 months. So this is clicks and impressions from organic search results. And you can see it's just skyrocketing. Every day we're hitting new highs. Nice. And so as this grows, I'm going to be able to send more and more business to the people on the website.
Right. Man, dude, this is absolutely
awesome.
And I actually recognize a couple of my buddy Andrew, Rippling Machine. I saw he was on your list. And so
I know Andrew. He's a cool guy. We're actually both on the membership committee for the NTMA.
Yeah. So we Damon and I interviewed Roger last fall.
Yeah.
And have you met Andrew in person?
Yes.
Andrew's a man. He's like I'm 6 foot and I don't know if I come to his shoulder. Like he's the nicest guy on the planet. So that's awesome. So Nate, let's take what inspired you to this isn't just like a little hobby. A side hustle. Like this is a prominent play. You're attacking keywords, you're driving business. Like you just laid out the numbers, even like if you were a fraction correct on those numbers you threw out, this is powerful what you're doing. And for those custom, the 3, 4, 5, 10 person machine shops, they're just, the reality is they're never going to sit down and, belt out content, but you're doing that for them now. You're creating an opportunity for them to be competitive from an SEO standpoint. I'm just fired up, as you can tell. Let me get a question in that ramble that I just had. Where do you see this going? Like, what's your vision? What's Nate's dream? Where do you see this going?
So this is something I've never really talked about before, but I have
This is an exclusive, Damon. We got an exclusive from Nate Wheeler here live.
Awesome.
I have this idea, and it's transportation related.
Yep.
And there's a lot of people out there, from Elon Musk to countries in Europe, that have explored similar concepts. I feel like I have what the future of transportation is. I know that sounds huge, but I really I've had this thought in my mind. I've written plans. I know exactly what it looks like and how it works. And I feel like someday all of this effort that I put into creating these collaborations between manufacturers is going to lead to a project that I can bring a bunch of them together to work on this specific thing. And we're going to absolutely change the way the world operates. Nice. That's all I'm going to say. But that's kind of my really, really long-term vision.
Awesome.
You know what? That's that big, audacious goal.
Oh, man.
So, you know what? And thank you for your trust that you shared it with us. You shared it with the folks here today. And you know what? You know, if you believe in like the whole, manifesting and, laws of attraction, if you will, dude, you put it out there. You put it out there on live. It's now, can't take it back, dude. So now we're going to hold you to it. So now Damon and I and the rest of us here, we can be your accountability partners. And we are rooting you on to victory, man. This is absolutely awesome. So let's wind down. I want to, one thing that I want to share is you're super active with the Big Brother and Big Sister program. And I'll tell you, that's huge in my family. My father took on a Big Brother program about 20 years ago. That young man had a lot of challenges, and now he's a thriving young man. So it's really impacted our family huge. Tell us a little bit about your role and what you do with the Big Brother, Big Sister program.
Sure. Yeah. And in the sake of full disclosure, my little aged out of the program, and he got to a different stage in his life, and so we're not still together, but still wish him happy birthday and things like that. But I was with him for 7 years. I was also on the board of the local Big Brother Big Sister program. And it is a program that I am passionate about. I feel strongly that if we can influence the younger generation, it's one of the most impactful, charitable contributions we can make. I mean, yes, you can, give somebody 10% of your income. You can do a lot of different things with your money. But if you can actually spend your time with somebody and influence them in a way that, is going to turn them into a better citizen and a more fulfilled person, there's nothing bigger you can do.
Yeah.
Wow.
Moment of silence there for that one, Damon. Moment of silence. And how about Nicole Donnelly? Love your vision, man. So that was awesome. So Nate, I know you're super busy. Let's wind down. My last question for you today, U.S. Marines, you're a thriving entrepreneur. You are just dedicated to helping manufacturing. Dude, I love that. The Department of Manufacturing. We got to talk. Yeah. Everybody talk to your congressperson about that one, governor or whoever. We need to get that in. And I know they might push back, say, hey, we have the Department of Commerce, but I think we need a Department of Manufacturing.
Yeah.
But Nate, as you're, taking this marketplace to a high level, you have a big dream. Who and what inspires you? What's behind your relentless drive?
The one idea that I mentioned to you is something that, it's a distant vision, but I do feel like it's a goal I'm working towards. And I feel like it's bringing I'm putting all the pieces together. But what really does inspire me is seeing successes for the companies that I work with. I genuinely get pumped up when I can show them, hey, we just doubled your traffic. And they say, yeah, well, we're getting a ton of phone calls. Or a ton of leads. I just get excited about that. I mean, that's just something that really drives me.
That is awesome. So, all right, Nate, and I'm sorry, I said last question, last one. Where can everybody find you? Obviously, we're here on LinkedIn. Maybe somebody's catching us on YouTube Live, maybe Twitter, or maybe they're catching us, months down the road. Where can they reach out? Where can they connect with Nate to get a little more of this expertise?
Yeah, I mean, the easiest thing you can do is just send me a direct email and just nate@wecreate.com. It even kind of rhymes, so it should be easy to remember.
Yep.
NATE@wecreate.com. And if you were to go on wecreate.com and fill out the contact form, that'll come to me as well. So that's probably the easiest way to do it. And I'd love to talk to anybody that's interested in growing their business. interested in getting involved with the Tri-State Manufacturers Marketplace, we're certainly growing fast and excited to add anybody into that site we can. And also, a little side benefit, everything is kind of ordered sequentially. So if you sign up today, you're going to be at a higher spot than somebody that signs up tomorrow.
Yeah.
So obviously,
first come, first rank, right? Kind of
exactly.
Thing. So, all right. So guys, let's wind down on this. So as Nate just said, first off, please connect with Nate. So hopefully Nate, you'll get a couple contacts here from our friends and family here at LinkedIn. So connect with Nate on LinkedIn. Check out We Create. He has an awesome website, all sorts of information for you. Again, Tri-State, the website again is Tri-State Marketplace.
TriStateManufacturers.com.
Yep.
TriStateManufacturers.com. Thank you. TriStateManufacturers.com. You absolutely want to check that out. And again, he's driving enormous traffic for manufacturers in the region. So that's New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. So check that out. Nate, thank you, my friend. I really appreciate this. I just, man, Damon, I wish you massive success with this program. Super excited, rooting you on. And we've got to have you back again, dude. We got to have this conversation again. Damon, any last thoughts for everybody here on this wonderful Monday?
Well, I mean, hey, go out and have a good week. But I love what you did, Nate, with your taking the Tri-State Manufacturers, making that directory, seeing that vision, because you are really helping drive collaboration, which will make the tri-state area stronger over time. For those people that want to participate, other people may choose not to, but I think they're going to be missing out. It's just awesome to see what you've done there. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Damon. Appreciate it. Thank you both for having me on. I really enjoyed it. And I love what you're doing as well. And I love the fact that we share this passion and that we're on the same team here.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
dude. So,
awesome.
all right, Nate, hang out with us 1 second. Guys, we wish everybody an amazing, blessed, wonderful week this week. Damon, we've got a few things going on here. We've got Faces of Business every Tuesday and Thursday with Damon Pastuca. Yep. He's interviewing amazing, incredible, wonderful entrepreneurs. Damon, we're back on Friday. Man, we have a good one on Friday. We're going to be talking a little bit roller derby and how a TEDx talk.
TEDx and roller derby.
TEDx talk and roller derby, how it can explode your business. So join us on Friday on Manufacturing E-Commerce Success. Guys, keep going out and crushing it. We wish you an amazing week, and God bless everybody. So hang on, Nate, and we're